Listen to this from Dave Portnoy, the founder of Barstool Sports.
I went super viral when I said I lost $7 million. I'd kill to be back to losing $7 million. I haven't even looked. If I had to guess, I'm down in these last 3 days, probably close to 20. I don't know, like 10, 15% of my net worth, poof. But I'm still here. That's the game. That's what I'm in. Like, do I like it? No. Am I crying? Am I like, oh, woe is me. I wish I voted for Kamala. No. Do I wish this didn't go down like this? Yes.
There's a lot to unpack in that clip from Dave Portnoy. On the surface, what do you see and what do you hear? You hear somebody who has lost $20 million, who was a Trump supporter, and he is upset that he's lost that much to date. There's a couple of interesting things about that. On the one hand, what's clear when it comes to a lot of Trump supporters is that they don't really expect to understand the implications of what it means to elect Trump and the Republicans until it starts impacting them directly. You saw it with the case of the VA employee Piggott, who was a huge Trump supporter, and then she got fired from the VA and was stunned that she got fired. And you're seeing it here with Dave Portnoy, who at first got pissed when he lost $7 million, and now that loss is up to $20 million since the Trump inauguration. These folks don't understand the impact of Republican policies until it starts hitting their paychecks. But there's something else that we need to take into account, and this is important for anybody that is an independent, a centrist, a left of center voter. Anybody who didn't vote for Donald Trump needs to understand this about Trump voters. What you just saw and heard from Dave Portnoy is likely what the majority of Trump supporters are thinking and feeling. There is no amount of money that they can lose that's going to cause them to stop supporting Donald Trump. Listen and understand what Dave Portnoy just said in that clip. I've lost $20 million. Am I going to be crying about it? Am I going to be losing my stuff? Am I going to be all of a sudden saying, oh, I should have voted for Kamala Harris? No, I'm not going to do that. That tells you everything that you need to know about Trump voters. And it's important to understand it because there is a group of people who are saying, as Trump voters wake up from feeling the impact of the Trump policies and Republican policies, we need to give them a soft landing spot. I disagree. I don't think there is room to ever forgive any of these people because Dave Portnoy is a great example, I would argue, of how the vast majority of MAGA supporters think. They're supporting Trump because they know that Trump is going to hurt the same people that they hate. That's what this is about. There is a saying that if you see a table of 9 Nazis and you sit down at that table, there are 10 Nazis. That is a perfect analog for the MAGA movement and Trump supporters. There can be no middle ground. There might be people who are politically unaware that voted for him one time and then realized that his policies were no longer working and never voted for him again. That's not what MAGA is. These are serial voters for Donald Trump. They know his record and they know what he stands for. They know his language, and there is no amount of loss that they can feel that's going to make them change their minds and act or behave differently. That's the lesson that we need to take away from Dave Portnoy's conversation. All of these right-wing people who were all in and supporting Trump during the election are now having second thoughts, supposedly. Understand that for what it is. It is just a temporary glitch. They have not connected the dots that this is what they can expect anytime a Republican is in office. I've said over and over again, Republican economic and tax policy has led to a $50 trillion transfer of wealth from the bottom 90% to the top 1%. And yet, rank and file working class voters continue to vote for that. That indicates a pathology that exists within that voting bloc, especially when you're talking about white working class voters. It's not about kitchen table issues. It's maybe if we vote the right way, we can be that kernel of corn in that giant pile of crap that's going to be coming by electing these people. That's the lesson that we need to take away from Dave Portnoy's clip. So don't let Ben Shapiro, Dave Portnoy, Clandis Owens, and all of the other usual suspects fool you. They're only upset because they're losing money. They're not upset because they realize that the policies that they supported are wrong. They still agree with those policies, and they still agree with the policies that lead to the massive subjugation of brown and black faces. Don't get fooled.